Well, hello there. Sage here. Continuing on our list. I believe we were surfing Wailupe. Bones, maybe? I used to surf Bones so much. Paddling out to Wailupe was always a just a nightmare, really. It's pretty funny. So you can either park on the town side of Wailupe Peninsula or on the Hawaii Kai side. Ideally, you park out on Wailupe Peninsula, but you need a key. You need to be a resident there. There's a homeowners association, and they have a private right-of-way that you need the key. There's a gate, and if you can get through that gate, it's a much shorter paddle, and you're like front and center, right looking at Bones. And there's a cool diving board you can jump off of. So around Wailupe Peninsula, there's like a deep water moat that's like pretty deep, like 30, 40 feet deep. And it's kind of spooky. It's like a little bit sharky. And so when you jump off the diving board, you're in this like deep zone, and then you go across maybe 50 yards, and then the reef comes up and it gets shallow again. And then it's, another couple of 100 yards. So it's a bit of a paddle. If you have to park at the beach park, it's like a really far paddle, and it kind of deters a lot of people from surfing it. Okay, so we used to try and sneak our way like out to the shorter paddle, and one way is to jump the gate and jump the fence. Okay, there was a guy that used to live there that surfed, and he was kind of a jerk. Actually, he was a total jerk. I've had words with the guy before. He was one of these guys that like overestimated his surfing ability. He could kind of surf, but you could tell he just thought he was a better surfer than he was. And he, I kid you not, used to take this like goopy, greasy shit and put it all over the gate and the surrounding fence, going like into the yards of the two houses on each side, the fences. And once you got this shit on your hands, you couldn't get it off, and it was pretty bad. The first time I got it, it totally ruined my session. It got all over my board, and I'm just like, what the hell? It was obvious that somebody had put this stuff to try and keep people from coming in there. Kind of chicken shit, right? Okay, so come to find out, I guess after that we just started parking and making the paddle. Like, it wasn't worth getting that stuff on your hands. But I guess people had just kept climbing through there, and I guess the guy went ahead and like put some broken glass like on top of the wall that people would try and jump over. I don't know if this is true, but I heard I know that he had put broken glass because I seen it, but what I heard was that some girl like cut her hand really, really bad, and the boyfriend like found out who put the glass, and it was this guy. The guy's name is Eric, by the way. And so I heard that the boyfriend, like, I don't know if he beat up Eric or what, but he gave him a talking to, let's put it that way. So there was the broken glass, the goop, just became not worth it to go through there. The guy Eric, we would see him out there all the time, and I'd see him elsewhere too, but my friend Brooke Nottage gave him a nickname, and his nickname became Toshkanee. Yeah, Toshkanee. I don't even know where that came out of Brooke's head, but that's all we know the guy has now, Toshkanee. And that's the next wave on our list. We named it after the guy because he was always out there. Toshkanee's is sick. It is like a double up bowling barreling right. It needs waves. It needs some south swell for it to break. But when it does, Toshkanee's is sick. Pretty fast, shallow, hollow, ribbable. and a pretty fun air section on the end. In fact, the only air reverse I've ever done in my life, which was more like kind of a chop hop, but the other way, was at Toshkanee's. Okay, if you kick out of Toshkanee's, more towards the east, and you paddle out a ways, is the next wave on our list, and same thing, Brooke Nottage named this wave, and he called it, for some reason, Okie Choo Choos. Okay, Okie Choo Choos is super sick. It's a right and a left. The left, you can start surfing the left when it gets bigger, and the left is a little bit shouldery, but if you get a good one, you can do a big good snap, and then set up turn, and then you can come into the closeout of Toshkanee's. The right at Okie Choo Choos is phenomenal. It's like the most air-friendly wave in town, probably. The wind is perfect coming at you, and you just get these side wedges just coming at you. It bowls like really hard and can barrel, but really, really crazy rippable wave. Other people, we call it Okie Choo Choos, and a lot of other people do, but I think most people call it Wailupe lefts, which is funny because the right is way better. And then the what we call Toshkanee's, I've heard called suicides, I think, which is funny too, because that makes for 3 suicides on the island. We'll get to the third one later. Anyway, Toshkanee's and Okie Choo Choos, and we were stoked because years after we started surfing there was we discovered an abandoned house. Not abandoned, well, some Japanese investors had bought this house, and no one lived in it, and so we used to just walk right through the house, no problem. We would actually go like rinse off in the jacuzzi after and hang out for a beer. It was pretty funny. Oh, Toshkanee was out of his mind when he saw us doing that, but there was nothing he could really do. I actually had Toshkanee close the gate right in my face once. He was going out surfing. We noticed the gate open, and so we got all our stuff together, me and my friend Sage and John, and we ran to go get through, and the guy just looked me right in the eye and closed it. Pretty ballsy move. And I was like, we're coming out anyway, man. Like, really? You gonna do that? And he's like, yep. Okay. So anyway, that's Wailupe. And moving on. Aloha.